Hi, hey there, Sam back with you on September 11th, Tuesday, September 11th, kind of middle of the day here, and also by request amongst the members is AMD. So we'll take a look here. I've got a 3-day chart on AMD. All right, so look here. So obviously, there's some sort of we can call that an impulsive move. Right, looks like crypto days of old. So just one more example of, as I try and emphasize to you crypto purists, right? Crypto is not the only thing that's done something like that. And that what's the low here? April, right? That's looks like Bitcoin in the old days, in 2017, I should say. Right? So there's plenty of opportunity across other markets here. So you Bitcoin purists or crypto purists, just every time I get the opportunity to encourage you to look at other markets as we suffer through this ongoing crypto bear. You know, and it's not necessarily about what's going up. It's just there's plenty of volatility in other assets. All right, so this hard to think this move here is anything other than a third wave. So you look at that and you kind of go, well, 1, 2, hard to think anything otherwise. But you look at that and you think, well, why is it stopped there? Well, I wouldn't try and connect this move. I'm not trying to connect these two. But I did notice this. So just the simplest thing of just going the absolute all-time high here to this low that we had down here. What have we done? All right. So you wonder, why is it stopped there? It's 618 to the tick. So I promise you that's not random. Right? That doesn't mean that I'm saying, oh, there's a great opportunity to sell it. I'm just showing you why that stops there. Right? There's some algorithm kicked in there. So doesn't mean we can't get through it. It's just the question is always, why does it stop there? Right, so it's always first thing to start checking. You know, prior pivots. Why did we stop here? Right? Why does the one wave stop there? Could it be this? Right, bumping into the 50, then we get through. Right, so algos don't get it every time. So likely an algo kicks in there. They get a reaction, then we break through. So now they're on the other side. There is only this last algo up here. Right, that sold that. We get through on the other side of that, no clear sailing, no algo to oppose. Right, that's if you can find that, that's always what you're looking for. We have the opposite of this in Bitcoin. Right, there's no algo to oppose. In Bitcoin right now, there's no buying algorithm. Right, so all right, so that established here. Right, again, long term. Right, so you think, God, how is that possible? This is 2018, and that pivot over here was 2001. Right, fucking software doesn't care. All right, let's go from the 3-day. Let's get down. I think we can see it on the 12-hour. So I've just taken the absolute low down here, and yeah, I got a. As I do it this way, you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, I get a very. Let's see. I get a very deep 2, but I'm inclined to give that a 2. So I get from my pivot down here, I can get a 1, 2. That's the deepest retracement, and then we get the scream up for the 3 that is even beyond the 2618. This is a shallow retracement, but it's technical. So let me open this up here so you can see this a little better. So if I just grab, right, just standard ops, I would take my 2 to my 3. Right, get it right on there. What do we do? Where are we looking for the 4? Right, 38 to the tick, up we go. And it looks from there like I can go 1, 2, here's my 3, 4 to the 38, and I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like, and I finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's hard to count that any other way, right? As a completed impulsive structure, right? So off of this low, what's made in July, what is that? July 27th of 15, then we get up here, and that's our May 17. All right, so if that's completed as a one wave, right, again, it's just same thing every time, guys, every time. So we've completed the one wave, so I got to go all the way back to the lowest low. All right, here's my absolute low here. So I just wicked that off so it's easier for me to find it. Okay, so if this is a completed one wave, I'm going to use that. It looks like I get an expanded B wave here. Hang on one sec. Okay, so then from there, now this gets a little wonky here. So it looks like I've got A, B, C into my B wave here. So I get an expanded B wave here. Then it looks like I finish with a deep diagonal. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we come up a little shy of the 50, right? So it could be front run, possible. It's hard to know, but I think it doesn't help us necessarily say, okay, well, an algo is going to use the absolute pivot high. Wouldn't really matter here. We're within a couple of cents of one another, so that seems like a reasonable target here for my second wave. Right, so it looks like, and this could be counted a number of different ways. I don't know that it really matters relative to where we are now. You know, this could be a WXY. Some people might go A, B, C, D, E. It doesn't really matter. I do think it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finishes that C leg of it. But it doesn't really matter as to relative to where we are now. So we're up here. Jesus, that's really a remarkable move. So we've gone this high. So you look at that and you say, oh, well, I know from the shorthand here, though, even though we don't make the 50 here, this is going to be relatively close to where my 1618 175 box is, but it's likely going to be short of it since we don't make the 50. But if I draw that up in terms of, you know, where a potential target is up here for the third, well, again, it's the same thing every time. So if that's my 1 and this is my 2, right, you can see, so here's our could be. We're not going to get there. Could be this has got more legs in it. We don't know that it stops here. Could keep going to the 2618. It's just, we don't know. We just have a probability zone here where we can anticipate. So if I were long, I might be tightening up there. Right, that's the highest probability zone for our third. That sure looks like a third to me. Doesn't mean we can't go higher, but that's, you know, an area you might look for a pivot. So if that's good, well, again, just the same thing, right? So we wick off our 1 and say, okay, if that's 1, 2, and we don't know where the pivot is on the third, do we have any divergence? Nope. We're still hammering. So no signs of a top just yet. This could be, you know, there could be another leg here. We might have 1, 2. We're in the third of the third. Nothing says that we have to stop up here. Right? That is not what I'm implying, and I'm not suggesting that that's a short there. I'm just saying that's a zone we want to pay attention to. So if this is 1, 2, 3 is going in, well, it's a hurry up and wait. Now we got to wait for a pivot up here, and then we'll, just as we would with any, it doesn't matter, time frame doesn't matter, chart doesn't matter. What are we going to do? We're just going to take it from the low here. Now we don't know, but if we were to go up here and get that pivot, then all right. So here's the roadmap just laid out. We'd wait for this third. Whenever we get that good pivot here and we get a retracement, we'd want to see at least to the 23 for a 4, and we want, ideally it'll take some sort of a, so if it's up here, it would give us some sort of a 3-wave shape, and then we'd go back for the 5. Right, so there's nothing to do here. Right, so you wouldn't, you know, boy, that I certainly wouldn't be a seller there, but you know, hard to buy that as well. So you really just, if you're not in it already, there's just to hurry up and wait. We need a pivot up here, and then we'd wait for the first retracement at one of these probability zones where we'd anticipate a 4. Right, there's not much else to do with that, right? The only other thing that I did notice. If I go back to the daily, and I'm going to lock in my scale here so that I can get that. So having set that, I'm going to do lock price to the bar ratio. So then because I'm looking at an equity here, I'll look at a daily. I'm going to take the absolute lowest low that I can here, and I'll go to my Gann tools and grab that and see what that looks like. Yeah, do we intersect here? Yeah, it's not, maybe some support there. It's hard to say. All right, so locking that scale. So we've got into this upper zone here. And again, we don't know where this pivots here, but we certainly are 1 by 1 bullish above. So a return, something like this. Back like that would get my interest if we're going to come back to our 1 by 1. Something to just keep an eye on. Again, you don't have to keep it on your chart, just something to remember to take a look for. You know, is this a potential zone where I could find some support? Is there anything else, any other geometry, anything that I can find to build a stronger case for that 4 to help me, to guide me into the 5? All right, so just one other thing to look at, particularly when you're looking at these longer term trends and you're on the daily, that's when you can take a look at the Gann angles. See if those are offering any value. Right now, it's just hurry up and wait. That's all we got, right? If you're not in it, I wouldn't touch it until we got a retracement. That's just why? No reason to. Why take that risk, right? What do you? Again, you gonna sell it up here, right? Well, maybe there's a scalp there, but I certainly wouldn't be a buyer there. All right, guys, that's kind of a short one. There's not much I can offer there with regards to how to trade this, other than to kind of identify where we are, which I don't think there's much mystery that we were in a third there. So let's hurry up and wait for the 4. All right, that's all I got on that one.